Plaintiff Michael Barzeski met the defendant through their fraternity, and he claims the defendant is an aggressive sports fanatic who gets blackout drunk every night. Michael's suing his former roommate for rent and property he damaged during a jealous rage. Defendant Matt Samples says Michael's main goal in life is to annoy him, and he often hooks up with girls who Matt already hooked up with. Matt insists a girl he hooked up with damaged Michael's TV after Matt called her the wrong name.
Start with you.
Well, Your Honor, Matt and I are actually alumni of the same fraternity. Over the last few years, we came to know each other through alumni events, fraternity gatherings, and whatnot.
What fraternity?
Phi Kappa Psi.
Gotcha.
Well, over those few years, I came to find out that Matt is a loud, drunk sports fanatic. Your Honor, for example, when you're watching a sporting event on television with him and he's drinking, he screams at the television. It's kind of funny.
I scream at it without drinking.
Yeah, but I mean, he screams so that, I mean, other people in the bar get upset. They start to get agitated because they can't even watch what they're trying to focus on.
My family laughs at me.
Well, he's too much sometimes. Actually, I brought some photos of how a typical night of drinking ends with Matt. Drinks himself into a drunken stupor.
Yeah, either that or he's a pretty sleepy guy this night.
Well,
he's got like a half a gallon of liquor in front of him?
He's sleepy every night because he drinks himself. He blacks himself out every night.
Is this big bottle in front of him, is that liquor?
Yeah, I assume.
It's like a half a gallon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, go ahead. So this is an example of how he lives his life.
Right, and here's another example. Your Honor, he actually asked a college professor one time to reschedule a Tuesday morning class till later in the day. He told the professor that he had to work late on Monday nights. Well, by work, he meant stay up late on Monday, drink, and gamble on the Monday Night Football game.
Yeah, you got a lot of nerve, man. At least I pay when I lose.
Okay.
That makes you that upset?
Well, I put bets in for him. He loves collecting when he wins, but when he loses, he tells me to take a hike. Super Bowl 45. I told him 5 times to tease it. He didn't listen.
Your Honor, I don't know what he's talking about.
Talking about Super Bowl 45.
I know
told
that.
you to tease it and you wouldn't listen. What is teasing?
I don't listen to anything.
That means you give the Steelers more points, and then you bring down the over-under and take the over. And, well, they're good defenses. They're not going to score. It's the Super Bowl. They're going to score.
Yeah, if he's excited about sports in here, I can imagine what he does at home while he's watching it.
Your Honor, I do not owe him any money for any bets that I lost.
All
One
right.
more example I thought that you would enjoy about his drunken state. One time walking home from the bar, he was drunk, as always. So he noticed a group of police officers, not bothering him, just talking amongst themselves.
Objection.
Let him finish. He hasn't even spoken.
Well, that's not relevant.
You gonna let me finish?
Sir. It is. He's talking about your character because he damaged some property of yours while intoxicated?
Right.
Okay, go ahead. So what happened?
So he was walking by this group of police officers. They were minding their own business, talking amongst themselves. Out of the blue, without provocation, Matt decides to look at them and say, "You guys better leave me alone tonight." Well, guess what? They didn't. He ended up getting maced, and he got one of his many public drunkennesses.
Sir, what background do you want to give me before we get to the damaged property he's suing you for? Any background about your friendship?
I met Mike in college, like he said, and, he seemed like a cool guy. I think I met him at a Steeler game, and, then I lived with him. That was a mistake.
Why?
Because, his whole goal in life is to try to annoy me.
What was he doing?
It's playful fun.
I don't just watch Pittsburgh sports. We need the Steelers need the Ravens to lose. I'm trying to watch the Ravens game, and he's putting some stupid chick flick on. Are you kidding me? Yeah, he would try hooking up with chicks that I already hooked up with. Do you like sloppy seconds?
Your Honor, I don't know what he's talking about.
5 times to tease it. He didn't listen.
Your Honor, I don't know what he's talking about.
Talking about Super Bowl 45.
I know
Told
that.
you to tease it and you wouldn't listen.
Well, they're good defenses. They're not going to score. It's the Super Bowl. They're going to score.
Defendant Matt Sample lived with the plaintiff, and he's accused of breaking the plaintiff's television. But Matt insists one of his lady friends broke the TV after Matt called her the wrong name.
And let me get back to him so he can give me some specifics on the damaged property and the rent, sir.
Okay, well, like you said, we were living together. Our lease ran through the month of May 2011. On April 23rd, me, Matt, our other roommate, and several friends were watching a hockey game. Well, as usual, Matt was drinking, he got drunk, and he got upset at something that happened in the game. Well, he picked up a football, I think it was, and threw it, and he was yelling. It hit my knee, bounced off of my knee, hit the PlayStation that I own. The PlayStation fell to the ground. It wasn't plugged in, so I didn't know if it was damaged to that point. And honestly, I just didn't feel like looking at it at the moment, but I said, hey, if you broke that, you're buying it. And he just brushed it off. He left, I don't know where he went. Well, me and my other roommate, we decided to go out for a few drinks. So we go to a local bar that we usually all go to. There's a female bartender that works there. I know Matt has a little thing for her, but look, I think she's attractive too, and so I decided to start flirting with her. I'm allowed to do that. Well, later that night at about 12:30, while I'm flirting with this bartender, Matt comes to the bar.
Knowing he had a crush on her already.
Well, no, he knew that I kind of had a thing.
He does this.
Well, I had a thing for her too.
Who had the thing first?
I did.
Huh?
I did.
He says he
I
did. Go ahead.
He started yelling at me, calling me a jerk, saying she belongs to me. Your Honor, anytime
I went out with either one of you. Go ahead.
Anytime he sees a girl wherever it is that he thinks is attractive, well, automatically she belongs to him. Nobody can touch her. Nobody can talk to her.
Go ahead.
He's going to marry her. I don't know. So he stormed out of the bar. This was about 12:30.
I left because the special was over. Some of us actually go to the bar and drink, unlike you choir boy.
Anyway, Your Honor.
Go ahead. So tell me what happened.
So he left the bar at about 12:30. Well, I was still at the bar with my other roommate at about 2 o'clock, 2:30 when we left. It was closing time. When we got back to our house, I found my television that was mounted on the wall above the fireplace on the ground, face down. The glass was smashed on it. My stereo was unplugged, out of place. It was internally damaged. I had a camera that was smashed. I have the camera here. And my PlayStation, I plugged it in, and it wasn't working right. And I noticed that it was wet.
And you believe he did all that when he came home?
Right. I think he got drunk and upset and came home and did that
Jealous
damage.
rage.
Right. There was no signs of anybody breaking in. The door to his bedroom was open. I was never able to contact him. I tried to reach him.
Since that time?
Yeah, I've never.
All right.
I've never
hear
contacted
from you,
him.
sir.
Well, it started, there was a Pittsburgh Penguins game on. It was a noon game, and so it was a playoff game too. And so I got up early and I got a keg and we were drinking. And
In the morning.
Yeah, he's annoyed because I'm waking him up, and I guess he wants to sleep till 3 or whatever. And so, he eventually comes down, and Fleury is not playing very well, and I'm getting frustrated. I threw the ball in this direction. The PlayStation was that direction. He kicked it. That's how it hit the PlayStation.
Why do you think he kicked it?
I don't know.
You saw him, right? You didn't say, why'd you kick that?
Well, I wasn't really worried
Good
about it.
enough. All right, tell me
Worried about
about
drinking.
the incident at the bar.
So then I went to the bar, and again, I left because the special was over. I don't get jealous over him. So then I went to another bar, and I ran into this girl there, and we stayed there for a little while, and then we left, and we went back to my place.
So, you and him never had any words about a woman? Did you argue?
I might have said something to him, probably like, are you serious, man? Whatever. And I left because the special was over.
Did you leave upset at him?
No, I left more frustrated because the girl wasn't real interested in me, but...
Go figure. Is that hard to believe, Your Honor? Is that really hard to believe?
No comment. Let me see. What about the camera? You damaged nothing? Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, so what happened is I came home, I brought the girl home, and then we started going at it, and we got up in my room, and we were doing our thing, and then I got in a fight with her, and
About what?
I called her the wrong name that wasn't hers, and she didn't like that very much. And she slapped me, and I just kind of laughed at that. I thought I deserved it. And then she got mad, and she dumped a whole pitcher all over me in the bed. And that stupid girl she got the beer all over our clothes. And my phone was in there. And so my phone got ruined, and I got a little mad. And I took her phone, and I chucked it up against the wall, and it shattered. And then she got mad at me. She wanted me to drive her home. I was like, no, I've been drinking all day. I ain't driving anywhere. And then she said, well, you at least got to walk me. And I was like, no, you just broke my phone. I'm not walking you anywhere. I told her, I was like, you can sleep here. So I laid down. I was tired. I'd been drinking since 11. Surprise. I went to sleep, and I guess she pretended to go to sleep, and I hear a loud bang. So I get up, and I think it's Mike and our roommate, and I don't hear them, so I walk downstairs, and the TV smashed. The girl smashed the TV. And then, I was afraid he'd call the cops. There's cops in my vicinity. I'm doing a post pattern faster than Mike Wallace. So I left. I went over to some other girl's house. I slept there.
Did you call her by the right name?
She's a friend. I didn't do anything with her.
Judge Mathis gives the verdict when we return. Defendant Matt Sample lived with the plaintiff, and he's accused of breaking the plaintiff's television. But Matt insists one of his lady friends broke the TV after Matt called her the wrong name.
What about the rent?
The rent, I told him I was moving out. I was going to move out in April. I told him that, and he said okay.
He never told me that.
And he said okay, and I moved out a week earlier than I said because I didn't want to deal with him and the TV.
But didn't he and the other roommate still have to pay?
Yeah, but I wasn't living there anymore.
I understand, but you were on the lease?
He was.
Well,
you still have the obligation, whether you live there or not. You have to pay for a reasonable time after you leave. And if the lease expired 1 month later, you certainly are on the hook for that month. Well, the receipts for the damage.
Okay, I have some pictures.
Because, sir, I believe you caused all these damages. You definitely have a propensity for carrying out your violence against property.
The girl broke the TV.
Okay, well, and she was your guest. Had you not allowed this woman in the house, his TV would not have been smashed. So I'm going to grant his judgment. Therefore, $3,500 is your judgment. Have a good day. You need to lay off all that drinking, sir. Have a good day.
You were completely irresponsible. It's time to grow up, man. You're 28 years old. Stop acting like you're 18.
Friendship? You call that a friendship?
If he grows up, then maybe we can become friends.
Yeah, that's not how I grow up.